Before I start this lesson, I'd like to give all praise and glory and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah HaKodash, double honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops, the great millstone, rule well and teach well. Shalom to 144,000 men that's pushing it, believing His word, and true sincerity, His sacrifice that allows all us to do so. Shalom to the men, women, and children that's tuning in and listening. And shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad on all four corners of the earth. The Heavenly Father name is Yahweh. His only begotten Son name is Yahweh Shai. And Lord, when this video is edifying, quick and straight to the point. This video will be entitled, Just Like Ancient Times, We Have Enemies. And recently I was watching a video from the elder Yashawamba of GMS Dallas, and something stuck out to me, being younger in this truth, you get to, you have times where you be thinking, wow, like, why they just don't leave us alone? But however, why, like, for instance, vocab, right? It's a necessary evil. It's a necessary evil to have vocab around. It's a necessary evil to have these scoffers and scorners come up against us and persecute us, right? And try to come up against the tabernacle of the Lord. It's set that way for what? For what reasons? Because of the simple fact of it is, without good, you need evil. And that's the balance, But however, it does get tedious repeatedly dealing with scoffers and scorners, We had some scoffers come up a few times throughout the summer, It got so annoying to the point it gets vexing. But however, when you're in the spirit, it makes sense, right? And that stuck out to me because why? We need scoffers, scorners, those that come against the truth, to magnify the truth, right? And spread the word of the Heavenly Father. This is one of the ways it spreads, with vocab going to London and, and I'm pretty sure this ain't the first time vocab even went to London, obviously, or dealt with the apostle and elders. And by dealt with, the apostle and elders gave him a spiritual ass whooping. But however, this isn't the first time. We see this happen multiple times, right? And I'm going to grab these examples, and Lord, when this video is edifying. So, I'm going to start off with Haman, because, since everybody says vocab is like Haman, which he is, he's in that Haman-like spirit. So, Haman, from what we learn, is an Edomite, right? Going back to what, Agag or something of that line. Yeah, with Saul, because Saul was supposed to kill and slay all the Edomites, right? And he left one remnant behind, and later down the line, Haman was of the lineage of Agag, right? So I'm going to start off with, actually, let me see, Agag. Let me see. Yep, the Amalekites, yeah. He was the top of the Edomites, one of the top tribe of the Edomites. Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, utterly destroy all the people with the edge of the sword. And yeah, but Saul, right? Saul, he obviously got replaced by David, King David. The house of Saul and the house of David. It's beef there too as well. But however, you see that when a righteous, when a wicked king is in power, we see what's that's like. We see that, things happen, right? If Saul did what the Heavenly Father told him to do, which is obedience is better than sacrifice, right? We wouldn't even be having to deal with this. But however, it's set up in history this way. But this is 1 Samuel chapter 15, and I start at verse 7. And you notice how it mentions the Amalekites, right? The Lord will have war with Amalek for generations, forever and ever. So this is 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 7. And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah unto thou comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, which the Lord told him to kill all the Edomites. But guess what? Guess what he did? And utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Saul, the people, spared Agag, the best of the sheep, and the oxen, and the fatlings, and the lambs, and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile, and refused that they destroy utterly. I'm going to keep reading. Then came the word of the Lord, Yahweh, unto Samuel, saying, It repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he is turned back from following me, and have not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto the Lord. Oh, I accidentally pressed that. But yeah, that goes to show that if you don't listen, it's, it shows that when you don't listen to the Lord, that's what happens. We deal with repercussions of not listening to the Lord and obeying the Lord, just like we was supposed to be upholding the, just like we was in the land, right? We were supposed to be a holy people. We was not acting holy. We was acting like heathen in our land. Now, guess what? A heathen taking over our land. If you want to be heathenized so bad and heathens so bad, y'all going to get kicked out of your own land, right? You're not going to remember your heritage. You're going to be displaced, destroyed, and that's exactly what happened. And we see this going on today. We see all of this going on today. All simply because of the fact we didn't listen. But however, I'm going to jump back to Esther. So, in this, Agag is of the line, Haman is of the line of Agag. So, what was that? Ezra? That's Esther. So, this is dealing with the Persian and Mede captivity. So, this is Esther chapter 3, verse 1. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hamathiah, the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced him, Haman, for the king has so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. And yeah, that's going to show that beef between what? Well, I won't say beef, but the eternal struggle between Esau and Jacob, right? The king's servants which were in the king's gate said unto Mordecai, Why transgressest thou the king's commandments? Now it came to pass, when they spake daily unto him, he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters will stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew. So yeah, that really pissed them off. That really made Haman mad, right? Because they remember that. Why you think these elites have these diabolical schemes and things like that? These Edomites, these Amalekites, these elites remember all of these things in history. And it's no wonder why they're trying to delete us off of the planet Earth. Now, verse 5, And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then Haman was full of wrath. And yet it goes to show that what? This is the beginning. Well, not just this is the beginning, but just showing that what? We forever will have enemies, right? We always will have scoffers coming up to come against the truth, regardless if it's one prophet or multiple prophets, right? The elect is a small number compared to the whole world, and the Lord is dealing with quantity. So, obviously, the Lord is going to deal with the truth. The Lord is the truth. The Lord is dealing with truth, and the truth shall prevail. You know how many times scoffers come up against brothers and they lose, and against the true prophets they always lose. And to the Spirit, that's why one of the channels, some of these channels are called Defending the Gospel. Here in Detroit, defending the gospel. Because why? We have to. It's in the scriptures to defend the gospel. But also, no matter how many enemies we have come against us, they can't stop the truth. And I'm gonna grab that too as well. So let me grab this real quick, and then I'm going to grab this one last precept. I'm not going to make this long. I'm just flowing in the spirit with this, and Lord wanted this video edifying. So this is 2 Corinthians chapter 13, and I start at verse 8, just straight to the point. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. So yeah, all this slandering, all the naysaying, oh, well, they do this, they do that, and having no proof, bearing false witness, saying we this, we that. It's all for a greater purpose. And they just helping the truth flourish and grows, and weeding out those that are supposedly in the truth, and weeding them out and showing who they true, exposing them, right? This truth exposes your weaknesses and shows your strengths. But however, the elect are going to endure all of the weaknesses and become better, right? And the Lord's going to forgive them for their weaknesses, and they're going to get stronger with their weaknesses. They're going to get better at what weakens them and become better, But this is exactly what we're supposed to be doing in the truth, strengthening ourselves, not just defending the gospel, but strengthening ourselves in our personal walk. This go for me as well, So this is things that are very mandatory that we have to keep up with, right? And this is another example, right? And this is in the Persian and Mede captivity, right? We dealing with the same thing, right? So this is the rebuilding of the temple. So this is Ezra chapter 4, now verse 1. Now when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple of the Lord Yahweh power of Israel, then they came to Zerubbabel, they came to Zerubbabel and to the chief of the fathers and said unto them, let us build with you, for we seek your power as ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Esarhaddon, the king of Ashur, which brought us up hither. And yeah, these heathens will try to, I believe in the same God you do, right? Like the woman at the well, right? And Yahweh Shai basically said, motherfucker, you don't know what you worshiping. And you're not even originally from here. You basically got replaced. Oh, no. The true Israelites in Samaria got replaced. But however, right, and that was before Yahushua got replaced, 700 around that time period, if I'm not mistaken. But however, Yahushua, you don't know what you worship, and your fathers are going to be displaced out of this land soon. And that's what Yahushua told her, right? Verse 3, but Zerubbabel, Joshua, and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, ye have nothing to do with us to build an house to our power. So yeah, you don't got nothing to do. You're not going to be a part of this building. You don't have nothing to do with our power. You're not even of our bloodline. And that's another thing too. These Edomites, right, try to make it seem as if they're the promise, and they're not. The children of the promise, and they're not, right? And that's why they needed that 1948 declaration, Balfour Declaration, to make it seem as if they're the children of the promise. Because why? They're bitter. They're bitter that they wasn't chosen. The hatred still lives on with them. They're bitter that they wasn't able to keep their birthright a blessing. But it's always set for Jacob to have it in his lineage after him. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right? But we ourselves together will build unto the Lord power Yahweh of Israel, as King Cyrus of Persia hath commanded us. Verse 4, then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in building. So yeah, they're trying to come against our tabernacle. We have examples of why this is a third tabernacle, which is made by hands, right? Let me say it like this. This third tabernacle isn't a physical tabernacle, right? This tabernacle is something they can't destroy. You notice how all the ancient captivities, right, with the Babylonians, Nebuchadnezzar II, the Romans, right, they 70 AD, they destroyed our tabernacle as well, You notice how they always come for the tabernacles. Regardless, anytime we was in captivity or about to go under captivity, they always destroyed our connection, right? But however, the Lord was dealing with particular prophets to keep it alive, keep the missions going, keep the truth going, despite the temple may be destroyed, or the Lord isn't dealing with the temple, you know? But however, this third temple is something they can't destroy. And they've seen it being built right before their eyes, and they're powerless to do anything about it or against it. And this is what we're dealing with. Our enemies are coming in the same mindset instead as their ancient forefathers. But however, they're going to lose the battle. But Lord, want this video to edify. I'm going to close out by giving all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakodash. Lord, want this video to edify, and on to the next one. Shalom.